government has come in for criticism from some Grenfell Tower residents who say they were ignored. Let's discuss this now with Owen. He's a Guardian columnist and he joins me from central London. Owen, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for joining me. What do you think happened here? Why were the residents of this tower ignored when they brought their concerns to the council?
I'm afraid it's a damning indictment of the sort of society we live in. The people who live in that tower are working class people. Many of them are migrants, they're from minority backgrounds, and they're the sorts of people who in this country have been systematically ignored by our media and by politicians, but worse than that, vilified. The sorts of people who live on council estates and in tower blocks, when they appear at all in the media or talked about by politicians, it's in the most pejorative way possible. So when they spent year after year after year on the internet, on a blog, publicly pleading with the local authorities, the local council, pointing out the repeated, the huge safety problems, warning that a catastrophic fire was going to happen. They warned explicitly over and over again. This was not a natural disaster. This was not a disaster that fell out of the sky. It was one that was predicted by those residents for year after year after year. And that's why we have to, with this tragedy, worse than tragedy, this crime, what we have to do now is ask searching questions, not just about the abject failure of the local authorities, of the government, and there has to be individual culpability and people have to go to prison, but as well as that, it's about the way we organise this society. They're working class people, where people from minority backgrounds are ignored or vilified to the extent that when they plead with the authorities to stop them dying in a fire, they are ignored. And if they were residents of a luxury flat, and I just beg your viewers to consider this point, would they have been ignored for all those years? Of course they wouldn't. And that's why, to add insult to injury, the fact after they've been ignored for years, the Prime Minister won't even publicly meet with them, I'm afraid is a damning indictment of an entire Premiership, such as it is.
OK, Owen, I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. We're out of time. But really, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your thoughts with us this afternoon.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.